I think there is one clear point of certainty, which is we're watching Russia triple its defence expenditure next year as it bears down on the war in Ukraine, where it believes it's regaining the initiative. And that's going to make NATO and the Baltic states in particular feel more nervous. It's 75th birthday for NATO next year, and the reset to deterrence by denial underway. So I think much more of all elements of the British forces are going to find themselves playing a bigger part in deterring Russia. So it means the battle group in Estonia being reinforced to a brigade. That's not going to change. I think it's going to have to train harder. I would like to see it augmented with things like more air defence, if that were possible. And I think for the Air Force and the Navy, there is likely to be even more of a rebalancing to spending time in that part of the world rather than other global ambitions, unless something else happens in the world. So there's going to be an election by January 2025, and whoever wins the election is likely to have a defence review. As it happens, the Labour Party have said that they'll start it the day they take office. And this review, and all reviews are important, and we should remember every single review in my lifetime has failed to balance ambition and resources, but we should always try and do better. And so the review that's coming is going to have to unlock the terrible conditions that apply right now to the armed forces, where there is so little cash for training and travel and infrastructure, and also major pressures in the equipment program. So one way or another, a defence review has got to settle the ambition and square it with resources. And in there are really profound questions for restoring the army, which as a matter of policy is not being recapitalised for a couple of years, and balancing that with the very important work in AUKUS and the investment in the GCAP. The focus for the armed forces is on NATO and in the NATO area of responsibility, and yet we know we now live in a world which is much more challenging and unstable, and where things like the effects of climate change and population growth are likely to cause the armed forces to have to intervene with friends almost anywhere in the world where British interests are at stake, just to deal with instability. But the big thing on the horizon, I think, now are what happens in Ukraine, where the war is likely to consolidate in 2024 and really most likely not get to some sort of decisive outcome of any kind until 2025. But now we also have the unrest between Palestine and Israel, and a region that is feeling very fragile. And if, and it's a huge if, it came to an agreement that there had to be a third force, external peace support in Gaza, to separate the Israeli Defense Forces from the Palestinians and the remnants of Hamas, then there are very few places you can go than to Europe for that quality of effort. And if you come to Europe, you'll come to the UK.